Hello, Burton Calicott, your Library 105 instructor. This video hopefully going to be pretty short. I'm just going to take you under the hood a little bit into the library databases. I know some of you are probably familiar with the Discover service, which draws from a large number of databases. And when we talk about library databases, we're mainly talking about indexes to periodical literature, magazines, newspapers, and most prominently academic journals. I wanted to make sure that you were aware of what goes into the Discover service and what's available from the library, specific tools that could be really valuable to you, especially those of you that are getting into your junior or senior year and really specializing in a major. By the same token, they might not be useful for you at all, but I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of what they were and how they worked and how to find them. So if you are starting from the main College Charleston Libraries page, here's where you would typically put in your keyword Discover search, and you can see it's books, articles, and more. So where are the articles coming from? They're coming from these databases here. So if we click on the tab for databases, we just get a straight alphabetical list of all the library databases that are available. Just to give you some idea, if you haven't ever done this, so these are just all the ones that are all the databases that start with A. And you can see we've got a ton of them. Some are more or less specific to a particular discipline, right? So here we have L'Année Philologique. So this is the database that if you were a classics major, you'd probably want to know about if you didn't know about. If you were doing anything in anthropology, you'd probably want to know about anthropological index. So you can see we've just got a huge number of them. Sometimes it makes sense in terms of the title. You'd think go to A for anthropology, but if you were in the classics, you wouldn't really think to go to A for L'Année Philologique. So it can be really difficult to figure out which specific databases we have that are particularly relevant to your particular research. So one of the ways that we have for identifying those databases are what we call LibGuides, library guides. So you can see there's a link here to the LibGuides. There's also a link right on the main page of the library that's just called Guides. Both get to the same place. Now, in this case, I think it makes the most sense to click on Browse Guides here. So if we click on Browse Guides, this will give you a sense of the different types of guides that we have. And for the most part, it's basically all the majors and minors that we have at the College of Charleston. So from here, if you were doing something in classics and you weren't familiar with L'Année Philologique and you wanted to figure out which database was the most relevant, you could come down to the classics guide, and in this case there's only one, so let's click on classics, and you get, in essence, all the resources that are related to classics all in one place. So we have find articles, find books, encyclopedias, web resources. In this case we have some special tools. But the main value of these guides are the databases that are most relevant. And for the most part, we have these listed in order of most discipline specific. So here we find L'Année Philologique right at the top of the list. So this is the one and kind of only main index for classics. So the ones below it, you might be familiar with JSTOR, which is great, but it's a very general database. It covers all different disciplines. So that's pretty much it. If you are doing something where there happens to be a large number of guides all under the same discipline. Let's see. Like for education. In addition to the kind of main subject guide, LibGuide for education, there are these other course guides. So if you encounter that, just try to identify the one that's specific to the discipline, not specific to a course, and click on that, and that will bring up the guide, which will ultimately get you to the databases that are most relevant to that specific discipline. So if you're in education, you might be familiar with ERIC and or Education Full Text. These are the two main databases that provide index to periodical literature, mainly academic journals, all in one place. All right, so good luck with the assignment, and I look forward to seeing what you find.